The Nikki Glaser Podcast. Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, here I am. Welcome to the show. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. It's Monday. I am in LA still. You might have heard someone singing over Anya Marina in the intro song, and it just so happens to be Anya Marina. She is our guest today, joining us from somewhere in New York City. Not sure if I can call it upstate. Anya, how's it going?
So good to be here. I'm glad I got to redo my part live because during the Hamptons pod, I was very disappointed in my performance.
Were you? I was disappointed in all of us.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
It's not that I was disappointed. I was mad. You know how it's usually the opposite? I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. No. I was just making a joke.
Okay.
Andrew Collin is also here. Hi, Andrew. He's in St. Louis.
What's going on? Thank you so much for having me here.
How'd you get in my apartment this morning?
Huh?
How'd you get
I've
in
never
there today?
left. You thought I moved out, you idiot? It's funny to call someone an idiot.
Who are you, Mercedes? Mercedes?
Yeah. What are you, fucking goofy?
Yeah,
you thought
Mercedes
I moved out?
on FBoy Island is very flagrant with the word idiot, which leads me to believe that he was called a fucking idiot a lot in his childhood, which is unfortunate, but I do love him and I have love for that guy. Even though yesterday I posted on my Instagram story. I don't know if you saw it, Anya, but you and Taylor were like watching FBoy Island
Yes.
and like commenting on our WhatsApp chat, which is like 9 girls on that thing. And you're all like most of it's voice recordings of you guys processing it, but it was just so funny to read like, I love Danny. Danny's hair is slicked. He made a good choice. Mercedes, I'm still on the fence about. I miss Benedict. I don't know how to feel about. And then Taylor's like, I love Jabrian. Jabrian said that Nikki's hot and cool. Go Jabrian. Like it was just Taylor loved Jabrian from the jump. And like honestly, most people are probably like, who?
He was hot.
I guess he also really makes a great showing in the last 2 episodes, which I have not seen. Don't spoil them for me. Just kidding.
What?
I love them, but I have not seen them because I lived them and Chris and I have not been together and I have no one to watch them with. And so you guys know I do not watch things by myself, and I certainly can't watch myself by myself. I'm going to try to binge it today on the plane back from LA, but I can't promise anything. I've heard it's so good. I am so moved by everyone freaking the fuck out about the finale and all my friends just being like, don't spoil it. Like they're all like watching it at different times being like, holy shit, did you guys watch it yet? Please watch it. Like I haven't felt this much excitement from my friends about a show since The Bachelor, Bachelorette, and that usually was just me and Anya. You know,
Yeah, no one expected a gun on set for someone to get shot at the end,
Wow,
which is wild.
spoiler.
Andrew,
I'm sorry. Did you forget that someone got shot? It was bad. Yeah, it was really bad. It wasn't. No one died, but it was very bloody.
It was a
Explosive.
t-shirt gun, and because
got
those
wet.
guys, we just wanted them to put one on.
Did you notice Mercedes' nipples?
No, but that was also a thing that I didn't put because I didn't want to shame Mercedes because I didn't know if his nipples were good
They're
or bad.
great.
Are they like they're like my dad's? I know that's a weird thing to say, but my
my
dad is very perky nipple. My dad is like weirdly. They look like pencil erasers, like brand new pencil eraser nipples.
They're just like a third nipple. They look so tiny.
Oh, they're tiny.
Tiny.
God,
but,
Andrew,
I
did you
mean,
notice his nipples? That's almost like Andrew's version
Andrew's
of
are
like
big?
hairlines. Wait, you don't know Andrew's
If I had Mercedes nipples, I would have been a lawyer, like $1 billion lawyer.
You would have the confidence of a rich man.
your nipples are holding you back.
It's the only- well, they are. Have you weighed them? You try walking around with these fucking udders. God damn
What
it.
if you got them pierced?
With what?
Really
Pierce
owned
Morgan? Hang Pierce Morgan on there?
No, one of those things that they, when a cow has that ring through its nose.
Yeah, then I would join Noah's favorite band.
Morgan, just loop him
Yeah, just yapping away.
about trans
Andrew.
kids or something.
Are the
For them.
nipples
I hate
large
that
or the
guy.
areola are large?
They're
Thank
puffs.
you. Okay.
So
okay.
you can't get a good,
Those are
but
not
they're
bad.
puffs. You know how like our
They're so
nipples
far
are
apart.
on that like part of the month where it's like, you know, when our nipples are, when we're like maybe not ovulating, where it's like the time of month where your nipple is just like you don't want it to be seen.
It's
That's
a
how Andrew
swollen
feels.
rosebud.
Oh God.
Oh,
Speaking
man.
of, look at this fucking flower arrangement that Chris sent me.
So
It is the most
sweet.
beautiful arrangement I've ever seen in my life, and this is 4 days out.
It's still
It
alive.
is.
Wow.
It's so you guys know me. Do I like flowers?
No.
Fuck no. They die. They're a burden. This is a nice one because I just get to leave it here and I don't have to like throw it away and put it in
Oh,
the
you
trash.
gotta fly home with it. Check it.
Yeah, like I'm Miss America, just carrying it through. No, I usually am just like, oh, flowers. But I walked into my hotel room the other day. I was having a rough day, just really depressed, and I sent him like just a message being like, I'm just feeling like total ass fuck shit, and then I went and did something, and then I came back, and in my room is clean because the maids had cleaned it, and sitting on this table was just this beautiful arrangement, and I was just like, please don't be from my agents, please don't be from my agents, and it was not, and he wrote a really funny card. I forget what he wrote. It was an inside joke that really made me laugh, and it was just I feel like I turned into a woman with these flowers because I finally love
he
flowers,
deflowered
and
you.
I understand. Yeah, he deflowered me by giving me
By
flowers.
flowering you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I
impressed
feel
with
like
how quickly
I get
you did it. That was
It
fast.
was so fast. Can I give a shout out? If you are ever in LA, go to Seed LA, SEED, Seed LA for flowers. This arrangement, I mean, you will convert someone who, I like edible arrangements. I've tried to eat them. They're not going down, but and I've woken up every day and I'm like, oh my God, I love that. Every day I keep telling him it's move over Folgers. Best part of waking up is these fucking flowers. I love them. And I think I'm going to start getting flowers for myself and like putting them in my house and like trying to be that kind of woman. Not because I'm trying to be, but because I think I might be now.
I thought of you today when I was putting on jewelry for this podcast. I
Oh,
hope everyone
fuck.
appreciates it because I never wear layered necklaces, and I remembered your joke, Nikki, where you
Fucking Laird Hamilton over here.
You always
Hang
talk
10.
about how you want to be a woman who wears layered necklaces, and it's
Yeah.
true. It is a thing. Like
It's such a thing. I would stare at them on the train, and
It's a sign of
Noah has a
effortlessness.
layered necklace just like laying behind her on her draperies. That looks like a
From IKEA.
just an effortless layered necklace.
And I have
It's a
layered
little string
skin
of
on my
lights.
nipples.
your
9
swollen
layers.
buds, your little peonies.
Oh, man.
I have a new arape. Buds.
Okay.
Budding
Buds,
nipples.
yes.
Bud. No.
Ugh.
I don't even want you to call me your bud. That is disgusting
hate
too
the word
because it
bud.
feels bud is so gross when you're
Buddy.
talking about nipples. When I remember Kirsten and I when girls started getting like budding nipples or whatever it is, just puffing out for the first time because you go from having like Mercedes to puffs.
To
About
Toms.
5th, 6th grade. That was back in the early 2000s or like in the 90s. Now girls are getting buds like they're getting
At
breasts
7.
like at 3, like they're starting their periods at 4. It's crazy because of milk or something. But so Kirsten and I, and I've said this on the podcast before, but it's so funny. We were so fucking funny. I just have to give a little pat on the back about how funny my friends were. Kirsten and I came up with in 6th grade. We didn't have boobs yet. I think we got our first training bras then, which is such a dumb name as well. Training bra. Like,
Yeah, it's weird to put wheels on your bra.
I did think about that.
I was waiting. I was like, what am I going to say for training? And that was perfect.
Thank
Do you remember where you got your training bra from?
But
Yes, famous
Mervyn's. Famous bar. What's that?
I know that sounds insane to anyone
your
who's not
dad
from St.
steal
Louis. Yeah, Joe's Pub down the corner. No, it was.
that's what looked great on Nikki.
If you're from St. Louis and grew up in the 90s, you know that Famous Bar is a department store that was. It was ridiculous when we first moved there. We're like, Famous Bar. What is it? BARR. But that's where we went, the junior section, and Kirsten's mom brought us. Sorry, I'm burping. Kirsten's mom brought us because my mom was kind of like, I don't need to do that. And she she signed off on it. She signed my permission slip, but I went and we got these just like, all I wanted was those buds to be covered up. But the thing is, training bras, unless they have a padding in it, the buds don't get covered. It's just like wearing another shirt underneath. It doesn't. If you're a mom out there that is buying, or a dad, single dad, buying a training bra for your daughter, make sure it has a thicker layer. It's not going to make your daughter a slut. It's not going to make her have big ass boobs. Just make sure it has a thicker layer than a t-shirt. You know, a training bra or because those buds need to be pushed down because they're budding and no one likes them. But Kirsten and I used to call girls that didn't have training bras, which were us. And like, you know, we're just towing that line. The girls that had single fathers pretty much, or mothers who were like deadbeat moms, the ones that like didn't get bras yet. We used to say, and now you see this everywhere and it's kind of like a trend. We would call them in dire. We'd be like, she's so in dire because she was in dire need of a bra. And so we'd be like, she's so in dire. And it was just like a way to, we had so many codes.
Then she grew up to be Zendaya, which is weird.
Zendaya is in dire a lot of times. But that's like such a good look for her. Did you guys have like code words?
NB was no bra. I learned that from my first boyfriend. If a girl walked by with no bra, he'd always go NB, NB. But
that's
that
good.
was kind of a pervy hot thing.
You learned some when you were in the Hamptons with all of us.
So many.
But I think Anya was the one that was like, you guys had I learned some more. Green vase was, and this is, besties have probably already heard this before, but it bears repeating. Green vase was, our friends started having sex. I mean, my friends started having sex, but I was not. But we started like kind of doing things with boys, and we started wanting to be able to talk about these acts. And one time we were in my bedroom, and it was me, Hala, Kirsten, and I think maybe Taylor, and we were like, what do we call blowjobs? Because we obviously can't talk about that in front of our parents, and we hadn't lithagurned jid the gib or the gur or the gish the get, so the go with the geek the good to the gins to the gay blue the good to the gobs. So instead we were like, you guys know what I mean. There's like 4 people out there that are like, yes, gibberish. My lessons paid off. My gibberish training bra paid off. It was.
Is that on Duolingo?
Yeah, that should be.
I
should create an app
for that.
I could teach you gibberish in 2 seconds. I want to teach one episode. I'm going to commit to just 5 minutes of teaching besties gibberish, and once you commit to it, all you have to do is practice for like 10 minutes, and you'll get it. Okay, do you want to learn right now, like literally? Okay, Noah.
Yeah, but
are you down to like? Because Noah was like, Nikki,
they would kill
I can't learn it. No, well, here's what green vase. Let me just say what green vase is, because we were like, what should blowjob be? And I go, I don't know. Because we called smoking pots, we called pots sweaters. So we'd be like, let's go. One of my first jokes was like, you know, when you're growing up and you come up with code words so your parents don't know what you're talking about, me and my friends, we called pot sweaters. And so me and my friends, we would go like, hey, Mom, we're going to go drive around the neighborhood and knit some sweaters. Like that was like, and then we'd come back with like, you know, bloodshot eyes. And she'd be like, where's your yarn and knitting needles? And I'd just be like, the sweaters were so beautiful. Like it was just some joke about that. But like what we were so stupid. Like why was that? We didn't knit sweat. We didn't know. That was not a thing we did. We should have picked a thing we did. So we also called it Debbie. We'd be like, do you have any Debbie? And then, but Green Vase came about because I was like, okay, we got to come up with a good one for blowjobs because we're all going to be giving them so much.
For sure.
Yeah, right. To our teachers. No. So we're looking around, and I used to collect glass, not vases, but like bottles. You know, some that would be shaped like a fish or shaped like an Eiffel Tower, like blown glass.
Just Heineken bottles.
Just bottles that we would practice blowing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like blown, like it was like my thing. I was trying to find any identity, and my thing was like collecting these fucking bottles.
I was totally into that too.
Really?
Oh yeah,
collecting those bottles.
Imports. Yes. Colored glass. I had a whole thing in my room.
I want to get into collecting again. Tangent. Okay, so I just go. But you guys, it can't be something stupid. Like we have to come up with a good code word. It can't be something stupid like green vase. And then we were all like, "That's it." And then we called vigorous, hand jobs vigorous because it's like, whoa, whoa, and it's vigorous.
You ever put them all together? Like I sweatered and vigorously.
Yeah, he and I knitted some sweaters, and then things got vigorous, and I fucking broke a green vase, and it got all over my sweater.
Wait, your actual sweater?
Wait, yes. Yeah, my actual one.
Wait, cum got on your weed?
Oh no,
that
would really ruin it.
Oh no, dude.
So here's how you do. So before we get to break, here is a quick lesson in gibberish. And I'm going to do it once. And don't worry to Hala right now is listening and she's going, Nikki, no, stop it right now. Nikki, stop. You're all going to know. Hala, if anyone gave a shit, they would all learn it because this is accessible. There's a thing that people know. People are not going to learn it. Don't worry. She's slamming right now going like, no, Nikki, they're gonna know. And it's like, Hala, we use it like once a year.
Get in there.
And what she's doing, another go. Okay.
Another guy.
So here we go. So what gibberish is, it's so simple. You take English and every word you break down by syllables. And syllables are, Nikki is Nick key. Or it could be ni key. Or it could be Nick key. Like either, syllables are how many sounds are if you didn't go to school. That's what a syllable is pretty much. It's like how Andrew is 2 syllables. Anya has 2 syllables. Noah has 2 syllables. Anyway, so let's take okay, so then what you do is once you break it down by syllables, Nikki, right? And it doesn't matter if I say ni or Nick and then key or ni key. It doesn't matter, okay? So then you take what your prime word that you're going to be inserting, and I know this sounds complicated. I'm not a good teacher, but it's Ithag. 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 Okay? Now you're going to put that, you're going to take every word, you're going to break into consonants, and you're going to be able to do this without thinking within 1 hour of practicing this, and not even practicing it like for a full hour, just like kind of throwing it around. So you would take Nick, and I would put Ithag. You're never going to start with the letter I, with Ithag, unless it is a word that starts with a vowel. So you're always going to take the first consonant, the first sound, whether it's, mine would be N, okay? So, and then you're going to complete the end of that sound, which is ick. So Nikki is N, ick, and you're going to put in between it Ithag. So it's going to be Nithagik. So I put Ithag. So N.
I don't know if N is the best one to start with this.
Nithagik. And then key. So I'm going to take key now, or I can take E because I've already got the k at the end of Nithagik. Okay. But key, if I'm taking key, I'm going to take the K sound and go kithag, and then gi, and then end it with the E. So key. So Noah would be, okay, no, So Nithago. And then is the last part of her name. Now there's no consonant. There's no harsh consonant. It's just which is a vowel. So you're just gonna go Ithaga. So Nithago, Ithaga. Anya would also start with an A, so it's not gonna have a sound. It's gonna go Ithagon. So you're gonna start with on.
Oh, okay.
And then ya is the second one, and you're gonna go Yitha start with the Y, Yitha. And then ga, because it's on ya. So let's try, Andrew, your name.
What about a U? Or
like the word you?
No, yeah, I guess so.
Yithagoo.
Okay, so
you be the Y sound. It's not really about if it's a noun, like the letter itself. It's about the sound it makes. So if it makes a sound like it or other or Anya, then you just go Ithagother or Ithaga thithager. Now, if it's something like the word you, Y-O-U, you're going to go Yithagoo. Because there is that y sound. So let's try Andrew. Andrew, try your own name, and this is totally a safe space. I'm not going to make fun of you if you can't get it. I'm not a good teacher. It's hard.
In the God?
No. So let's take your name. Take your name first.
Ian?
Separate your
in the
two.
Gon?
No, separate your 2 letters.
Drew.
Okay, so do that one first.
So it ends with N.
So and is great because and is a word that we're going to use all the time, right? So let's do and. So and is the first one.
Would an be in the...
Itha, because it's an and. It starts with an A, so it's itha, gand.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, you said ithagand.
Oh.
That would be Andrew.
Oh, okay, well, that's how I pronounce it.
Ithagan.
Ithagan.
Okay, then let's do...
Drew.
What's the second one is... So his second one is Drew, and then
Drew the Ga.
Drew the Goo.
Drew the Goo.
Yeah, because you're ending it with ew. Drew. Ew.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let's just do one
vowels,
more.
Okay.
We're gonna go to break. So let's do the word break. Anya, do you want to try the word break?
Yeah. Brithagake.
Yes.
Wait, Brithagake?
You did it. Brithagake.
Yes.
Brithagate.
It's just one syllable.
Damn it, hers was easier.
Okay, one more, Andrew. Podcast.
Can I do freak?
Podcast.
Podcast. Pot of.
No, it's always going to be Ithaca. So you're never going to, a word is never going to start with anything other than p. It's always going to be p, b, d.
Okay, so Pithaga. Pithagod.
Pithagod.
Yes.
Pithagod. Kizagast.
Yes. Oh, now I know it.
So the go with the gee, the gar, the go, the go, the ging to the goop, the gake, where the gite, and the gout, and again with the gil, be the gee, be the gack, with the gith, with the gorsh to the go, and the after the girth of the giss, and again to the goo.
Yeah, coming.
All right, we're back. So sorry if that was a waste of everyone's time, but I swear to God, if I can learn it, you can. I am not someone who is good with language or learning languages. It's not my forte. It's my Will forte. And I'm not even good at remembering which one he is. I confuse him with Bill Hader, Will Arnett. I don't know. Welcome back to the show. I'm in Los Angeles. Anya is in New York. Anya, you said that you wasted a lot of your time last night with a TV show and that you have been, I don't understand people who watch things they don't like. Please walk me through this. Okay, well, you're freezing.
Strong silent type.
Anya, you're breaking up.
To the gong.
Okay, how's this? I'm having some connectivity issues. Let me move over here. I was saying that I felt really sick, so I didn't have any energy to think of a better show to watch. Yeah, exactly. Press a button.
So what show did you decide to watch? And you've been on a binge of like these shows about manipulative people, right? And like these...
Oh, God. I've been going down a cult documentary. I watched the Teal Swan doc with you guys in the Hamptons. Mm-hmm. I watched, that one's called The Deep Water or something. Deep End. Then I watched a crazy one on HBO. It's all HBO Max, I think. Or no, that one was Hulu. The Way Down, about an anorexic woman who tells you that if you worship food instead of God, you're going to hell.
Well, she's right. My life went to hell as soon as I did that. Wait, you're supposed to worship food?
No, she's like, you need to transfer your obsession with food to being obsessed with God.
Well, that's what anorexics do, are obsessed with food. People think that we're not obsessed with food, but the truth is we are. So did you as a person who maybe has had struggles with food stuff find flaw in that logic of like her saying as an anorexic, don't be obsessed with food?
I mean, yeah, it's like easier said than done, lady. And why are you 75 pounds? Like, she's like, I just love the Lord. And it's a fascinating documentary.
All she eats are wafers.
Yeah. Juice's body.
I swear to God, I remember when I was anorexic, even like going to church, like with a friend and having to maybe eat that wafer was like, no. Like I would rather.
That sentence with "swear to God" is so funny. I swear to God, I went to church. I swear to fucking God. I
swear to rice cakes.
Never gonna.
So what would you do when they go to feed you the wafer? Would you just go?
I would just pretend like it was a moral issue for me, or like that I was an atheist or something. Like I would do anything. I remember going to see the Blue Man Group.
Funny if you just went even farther and put the priest's finger in your mouth, and he's like, "Okay, you're done."
I wouldn't have even done that. I was holding my breath in Panera's because I didn't want to breathe in the smell of bread because I thought it would have calories in it. That's how insane you are when you're anorexic.
Oh my God!
I remember going on a senior trip to Chicago and we went to go see the Blue Man Group, and they do this thing where they like bring someone on stage and they like have the person eat like marshmallows, and I was like, if they choose me, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like it was the most anxiety I've ever had in my entire life, and I've done, I've been on TV and been on live TV. I've never felt that anxiety before of like, what could happen? Like I threw out a first pitch and I don't know how to do sports. Like that gave me more anxiety. Do you relate to that, Anya? Of being scared of like having to be forced to eat in situations where you're like, I can't.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time, and I didn't have anorexia like you were, like a hardcore committed type. My thing was
Literally committed
literally
to a hospital.
But I was definitely afraid of food, and would have major anxieties. I mean, the thing with this cult, all these cults, is they always start off pretty reasonable. Like, these are good ideas, you know, and then it takes a turn. Like, what she's saying isn't that scandalous. Like, you know, a lot of compulsive eaters are obsessed with food and have lost their way spiritually, maybe, if you know, even to themselves. So it got bad when the abuse starts. That's in part 2 or part 3.
Yeah, they always, as soon as someone else tells them, like, I question this thing, and in the Teal Swan documentary, it's just a great moment where one guy is just scene. Like, the guy goes, well, who are you answering to? Like, who's checking you? And she's like, why do I need to have someone checking me? And he's just like, well, because you say that we have to have people, like, and she's like, well, it really makes me concerned that you think that maybe I need someone checking me, and that maybe you are not as invested in this as I like. And she spun it. Oh, what about when she said the fastest person in the world?
Yes.
Like, she compares herself to the fastest person in the world. She actually makes good logic that I'm like, that's why she is a cult leader. Because even I was like, oh, that's a good point. She's like, well, if I were the fastest person in the world, and I told you I was, and you said, well, how can you be the fastest person in the world if there's no one faster than you? So I can't be the fastest person in the world because there's no one faster than me? What is that?
We were watching that, and Nikki's like, she's right.
And I go, God, she's fucking good.
Yeah.
I'm like taking notes.
That scene was so uncomfortable for me.
Why?
She just,
I loved it. I mean, it was uncomfortable because she's getting confronted, and you know this girl is crazy and that she's not right. And so there is discomfort in knowing, like, oh, someone's calling her out. There's just
discomfort in like how her being questioned. I don't know, it just came off so like egotistical, and like how could you even think to question? And it's like, I don't know, like I think I saw too much of her life. She's been married 5 times.
Dye up your hair in a bathtub?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, your eyebrows, can we start there?
Your
maybe
eyebrows,
all knowing
the eyebrows
you would know
should start somewhere. I'd love to start there, but I don't know where they start.
So does she have like a god
all
complex?
Your hair is on.
Does she think she's like a god? Is that?
Yes. And I think, I mean, she was terribly abused. So like her way of, or was she, because part of her thing is convincing people that they were abused and then isolating them from their families by being like, your dad molested you. And the dad's like, I didn't. And it's like, well, of course he's saying that. And then she like makes you eat frog stuff that makes you trip. And then she's like, your dad fucking molested you. So even like, it made me question her own story of like what happened to her. But
yeah, it's a great story.
What was the show last night that you watched, Anya, and that you were like, Anya said I skipped the second episode and I didn't even realize I did because it was such a bad show.
The Most Hated Man on the internet, about the guy that started that website, the revenge porn site. I didn't even finish it. It just made me feel so bad. They were showing clips of all the horrific things that they would upload, and it's just depraved stuff. And I'm like,
wait, will you tell me details?
Like people
talk slowly.
Pooping, people pooping.
Wait, what do you mean?
Do you
like
remember the revenge?
I don't even know
site?
the premise. I know what revenge porn is, but I don't know that there was a site for it specifically.
There was a website called. Go ahead. You actually watched the doc. I just remember it from history.
This guy starts a site.
Your browser history.
Is anybody up, or is anyone up, or whatever, that takes off.
4chan.
It's like all these nude photos of people, and it links to the people's social media. So it would show like, 15 pictures of naked Nikki Glaser, and then it'd be like, and here's her Instagram, and here's her address, and here's her Facebook.
Dox them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of guys would take photos of their other girlfriends,
and then when they get cheated on or they cheat on the girls and the girl breaks up with them, then they upload it to go, you fucking bitch, you fucking whore, no one's gonna want you now, I'm gonna ruin you. And it still happens. They do it all the time. It's like there's not just one site for it. So this guy started a site that was just for that.
Right, and it really took off, and he like got famous off being a sociopath and like tweeting constantly, like basically daring people to kill themselves, or like just.
Do you know 1% of people are sociopaths? 1% of the human population. 1%.
That seems kind of low.
It seems high to me.
Really?
Oh yeah, 1 in 100 people. I mean, that's like one. On every flight you're on, there's one person that's a psychopath. And sociopath and psychopath, I think, are interchangeable by most professional standards.
Was this guy making money off of it? Was it like a...
Yes. He was
you had to pay to get on there?
I guess he
revenue.
was selling ads, yeah.
I mean, who's like, oh man, I got to sell my shoes on revengeporn.com. It's just like... What person's buying ads?
Hey, a lot of people came to see me in Atlantic City because of that banner I bought.
Yeah.
There's another guy being tried right now for a website called like Girls Do Porn or a production company. And I mean, it's the same old story. They put an ad on Craigslist looking for models, 18 and up. Girls answer the ad. They fly the girl to LA from her little podunk town, put her up at some fucking, they pick her up at the airport. They don't even bring her they bring her to a hotel for the modeling shoot. On the way to the hotel, they tell the girl,
what are you doing in LA? This sounds exactly like your last
what
4
I'm
days.
up to.
Yeah. Don't fall for it, Nikki.
Nikki, no.
Guys,
don't
it's
go.
too late.
They sent flowers.
And the revenge is that people are going to have to watch it. It's not pretty. What they would do is they get the girl, and this has really made me just go, I can't with porn. Like I gotta vegan it pretty soon here, guys, because it's so much porn is made this way. They get and this was a guy that would do these tactics over and over, and now he's being sued, and there's this huge lawsuit that's happening right now. So fly the girls out. On the way from the airport, they'd pick them up in the car, like at the baggage claim, and within a day, I mean, these girls would answer an ad, and the next day they're flown out. On the way to the hotel, they'd be told it wasn't really a modeling shoot; it was actually porn. At this point, this guy is kind of intimidating. You're in a car with him. You've already flown out. He's paid for your ticket. He's like picked you up at the airport. You kind of feel indebted. You're 18. You're young. You don't like your first time in LA. Then they go, but don't worry. And they make you send nude shots. So they already kind of know these girls are maybe down to be a little sexual, right? Like they know it's a sexual modeling shoot. So these girls have sent nudes. Just and like sent their fucking buttholes, I bet. And then they get the job, and it's good money, for a girl that's working at fucking, I don't know, a custard stand over the summer. It's like, it's insane. Maybe it's like $1,000, but still that's like insane money for these girls. So then they get to the hotel. There's so much paperwork they have to sign. They tell the girls that the video is only going to be distributed in Australia privately on videotapes for people who pay for them and will not end up online. And it's only for select buyers that will not be distributed online. And it will never end up online, which, by the way, isn't a thing. Young women listening, nothing you do can be sure. Like, there's nothing that won't end up online or can't. There's no way to make sure something doesn't end up online. But these girls don't know that, the education's not great in Michigan or wherever. So they go, Michigan. No, tons of offense. Get it together, Michigan. Flint, Michigan. The water is still bad. Bring back our girls. I don't think that's the same cause. Okay, so they make them sign all this, and this is like the story over and over. All these girls have the same story. They get to the place. They make these girls sign so much paperwork, and they have a flight out that night. So they just want one shoot with these girls because they're disposable. I mean, they're not going to use them again after what they do to them. The girl has a flight that night, so they're like, hey, we got to do this shoot. Sign this paper. So they rush them through the paperwork and act like them reading it, which these girls barely can fucking probably understand any of this legalese that they're going through. So they sign all this stuff, which is pretty much signing away all their rights. And they get into the shoot, and they're told it's going to take 30 minutes for this porn shoot that is only going to be, this kind of sex act that they agree to. They get in there, 5 hours of shooting with minimal breaks, and every time they break, they're like, your flight is coming and we need to get this, like, you're making everyone wait, making these girls feel like a burden. I'm a 38 or so year old woman who still feels like a burden all the time to everyone. I mean, I could see myself getting roped into something like this, let alone if I was fucking 18 years old. And so then
especially if there's rope involved.
Literally. So then these girls are brutally penetrated in every way by multiple men. It's not at all what they agreed to, but because they do, sign the paperwork and they are consenting in the sense that they say, sure, that's fine, but they keep pressing, these guys are master manipulators. So by the time the plane hits the ground back in Detroit or wherever they fucking fly back to, it's already online. I mean, it takes about, that's an exaggeration, but it takes about 3 weeks, and these girls get texts from their friends saying, there's videos of you. That same day, all their parents find out, their aunts and uncles.
Wait, they know people in Australia?
Yeah, right. Down under. And it's all backwards too. And so...
and upside down.
Yeah.
Oh, mouth to ass?
And these girls' lives are ruined. I mean, these girls come from these good, like, Christian, like small town home, like, places, and they have $1,000 in their pocket, which is after the fact, probably like $600. It's already long gone, and their families they get estranged from their families. No one wants to talk to them. Every guy thinks they're a fucking slut, a stupid skank. These towns where they're from, their reputations are ruined. They're run out of town, and they've nowhere to go. They have nowhere to go after that. And now they have this thing on their record, and
it's brutal.
And so this guy is being tried right now. He's such a piece of shit. Really, I mean, if you're someone out there who watches porn like I do, we gotta do better. Like, I can't support this anymore.
I feel like there should be a law where, like, they're like, well, they signed the paperwork, but it's like, unless the paperwork's like 4 sentences and like Times New Roman, 16
courier, double space.
Yeah, double space, where it's like, you
like
will ruin your life. If it's like a bunch of mumbo jumbo, Megatha stuff, it should be tried in court yeah, it's bad.
It's so bad.
But you know what I mean, though? Like, if it feels like it could be hidden, that should be.
Can I say the worst thing of it all? Okay.
That you saw one of these before you saw the documentary?
I've definitely seen one of these. Like, there's no doubt this guy is prolific, and like, this isn't like one website you go to. He has his videos on every porn website there is. We're talking RedTube, we're talking XTube, we're talking Xhamster, we're talking Pornhub, we're talking, I mean, everything. And the problem is, there's something at this point in my porn viewing I enjoy, and I talked about it in my first special, and my enjoyment of this has only gotten worse. Reluctant porn, where the girl is like, I don't know, like, I can't, I shouldn't, and then is like, my joke was like, I love when she's like, no, okay, like I like it, and I like porn where the man is like really old, and the girl, there's no way the girl's attracted to him, but she's just doing it because she wants to get...
Can we keep my relationship out of this?
I know, I'm sorry, I've been watching your sex tapes.
Just type in Andrew Kyle.
Could you guys move to the apartment across from mine, please? Across the way. No, I like videos where the girl is like, and I'm not alone here. I remember, friends of mine admitting to liking the same thing of like, it's a subgenre, it's age gap, where the girl is like, she's just doing it and she's kind of enjoying herself. Sometimes she comes, but like, I just like that the guy is like so appreciative and like, oh, I'm so old and this is the best thing that's ever happened to me and I'm about to die. And he's like got cobwebs on his dick. And like, I like it. And what I'm looking for now is like, I can't help that I like that. I'm not a bad person because I like that. I do not want anyone to be victimized. I do not mind, though, that being dramatized in porn. And that is what I have to seek out. And I don't know.
Would you still enjoy it if you knew everyone belonged to a union and was being paid well and was consenting?
Yeah, that's why I pay for porn. I pay like $100 a month for all my subscriptions. But the thing is, I still don't even trust the subscriptions because they're still getting they're still outsourcing their
Right.
production
Content
companies
from
like
assholes.
Dog Fart. Like, can I trust Dog Fart Productions?
They're pretty
I don't
good.
know. They make great stuff, but I
see
don't
what-
know if I can trust them.
Yeah. I think like I think if it was like a movie and it was like, whoa, these actors are amazing, but if it's really like this is really believable, they're not the best actors, so it's probably
I
close to
know.
the truth. You know what I mean? That's the tough part. It's not
But I
like,
also, as
wow,
long
they're
as the
so
girl-
method by fucking this old weird man.
Well, I don't want the girl to be like sad and like, I hate this. Like, I want the girl because that's the kind of sex I like, where I'm kind of like pushed to my limits, you know, where it's like almost like a Barry's boot camp, where you're like, if I really had a choice, I would like to not be doing this fucking burpee right now. But I know that if I get through it, I'll feel accomplished.
Why does
That's
burpee
the kind of porn
sound
I
like a nickname for an old guy? I gotta be it's fucking
Uncle
burpee.
It sounds like you after you take a Viagra and can't, and then have to like not
ate
have
a
sex.
Club
The other day,
sandwich.
Andrew admitted that he took a Viagra to prepare for sex, and Brenna saw the wrapper in the trash, but then he couldn't have sex because he had heartburn, and so he had a boner, but couldn't have sex because he had acid reflux.
Hot. Cuties.
It's true. If they make Viagra pill that could do heartburn and a cock, would be fucking
Can you not take
brilliant.
them both? Can you not
Huh?
pop a Zantac and a...
No, I did. I ended up doing it, but by the time the Zantac kicked in, it was past my bedtime. It was 9:30. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do the news.
You heard it here first. Yeah, you heard it here first.
oh, it's Monday, folks. You know what that means? It is Monday. Hope you're having all the swells out there. We sure are here in all the different cities we're in. It's kind of crazy. 4 people hanging out, different cities, 1 computer. Wild.
I mean, there's
not
lots
one
of computers. It's not one computer at all.
Huh?
It's 4 different computers.
computers.
There's
It's
only
5
one in front
probably,
of
yeah.
him.
Yes, thank you, Anya, for seeing it my way.
Empathizing
She
always.
saw it my way. All right, Noah.
Regrets, I had a few.
All right, I'll
Every
do
day.
quick plugs. Since Anya's our guest here today, we have a lot of unreleased songs and exclusive live streams on her Patreon, patreon.com/Anya Marina. We have Good Clean Filth on HBO Max, the last 2 episodes of FBoy Island, featuring the one and only Nikki Glaser and Andrew behind the scenes on FBoy Island, and in the green room on Good Clean Filth, which you could see him in the beginning.
Yes.
NikkiGlaser.com/tour. And Andrew Collin is going to be on tour.
AndrewCollinComedy.com.
Yep. go see
Zany's
him
in Nashville. Please come. It's a Tuesday. I don't want 6 people there. 5
gonna
of
There will
them.
not
It's
be
gonna-
6
it's
people
gonna be
there, Andrew. There's going to be so many people.
packed
I'm so
house.
scared. I really am, but
That'll
it's
be
fine.
fun.
Honestly, what are you scared? So there's 6 people there. Like, it doesn't mean anything. The best part about that is no one will know that there were 6 people there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I have like a whole
Only
crew.
6 people will know.
I paid a whole crew.
So
that would be
Jake-
the 6.
Jake Owen will know that there's 6 people. Like, that's the best part about when I used to go do clubs and no one would show up because no one
Yeah.
knew who I was. Or even I had TV credits at the time and no one would show up. And sometimes they still don't. There have been shows that have been like not full. It doesn't matter because no one knows because no one's there. So it actually
But
doesn't
I have
matter.
to make you have to make a tape for Instagram, Nikki.
But then plug in the laughs. No one will know because you can't. Laughs on
That's a good
Instagram are you don't see the audience anyway.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm not that worried. I'm kind of, but it's fine. I'm fine. I'm good. Everything's great.
gonna work out,
Zany's,
Andrew.
Nashville,
Everything's
August
wonderful.
30th.
Zantac.
But yes, Zantac,
Zantac, Nashville.
Viagra.
soft dick, hard heart.
Okay, thanks.
All right, what's the news?
This is a good segue. Recent research has challenged the accepted opinion that men like violent porn and women like romantic porn. Surveys reveal that most men are turned off by violent porn, and furthermore, at least some women report finding depictions of aggression against women to be a turn-on. This suggests that interest in violent porn may not be so much a difference of gender as one of personality.
Oh.
I thought it did say gender, and then
Yeah.
No, it's breaking the
It's saying that because it doesn't seem to be just mostly men like this and women like this.
Okay.
There are more women than they think, and it's probably the reason that people are even interested in the first place is personality, not gender. Yeah, that's interesting. Violence in porn, it's like it's tough to be turned on by that kind of thing. I do not like violence, I would say, in porn. I don't like slapping. I don't like people looking like they're sad or scared, but I do like I do like punishment, and I like suffering. But I like suffering in the same way that I like suffering in my life. In like at the end of it, there's an accomplishment. Like if you run a marathon, like that's suffering. And you're not. If you watch someone running a decathlon or something and you enjoy that, people aren't like, you're fucked up. You like watching people suffer. It's like, no, I like the end where the person's like, I just fucking got 10 loads of cum on my face. Like that is a triumph. Like that is a new Olympic sport. I think
medal.
Yeah, I mean, I really do feel like these girls are insanely talented, and like I'm in awe of the stamina it takes to do what they do. The men I'm not as impressed with at all because they use Viagra, but women, I really am like, I'm blown away, and a lot of their assholes are blown out.
A lot of my guy friends, we like this. If you type it in, it's actually on YouPorn and Pornhub too, but they had their own website back in the day. It was called xart.com. Xart is the kind of porn, and it was like very girlfriend, boyfriend, beautiful, beautiful people like making love, and we were all like, yo, did you see fucking Nicolette make love like so soft and
wow.
but like
like see, I hate that kind of porn.
Romantic.
Me and my boys got down to tenderness.
I like rough, but you know what I like is not hard, like not fast. I like like slow hard, if that makes sense.
I don't like tears. I don't like when a girl's makeup is getting ruined. I don't like that.
Wait, why?
Oh, I like that. because when you choke, you cry.
Yeah. I don't like when your eyeliner runs.
I like that.
It's so ugly.
What do you like, Anya? Are you into
I just
bondage
like
and slaps?
lazy, like only massage stuff. Like just like a girl getting a massage, and then it's like, whoopsies, it's a surprise massage. That's all I'm interested in.
I don't like I like the massage stuff too. I don't like when the guy ends up fucking her though. I just want him to finger her the whole time. I don't want his penis to be involved. I'm always like that's gone too far and he should be reported. But if he just like fists her, it's fine. He's still using his. I don't know. I just don't believe that women really get that much joy out of just a dick without a vibrator as well. At least I don't. I mean, and that is with every dick I've ever had in my life. I need clit too. I need clit and penis, and I just don't.
Foreplay is the best part.
So when
I think evolution, guys are gonna grow like little
Hitachi
arms.
Wands above your dicks.
Yeah.
It'd be amazing.
Like in 10 million years, we'll all have like little head dicks things.
I'm different. Like many women can just do this, like, can rub their own clit while they're having a penis inside them and have a good time. Or it can even just like rub on the top of the guy's, or the guy can rub it like with his hands. But I've never been, as Ashley Hesseltine calls it, a girl who can play acoustic. I need to plug into an amp.
That's so good.
I can't pluck a banjo at a bluegrass festival. I need to go to plug in.
You need AC/DC on there.
Yes, I do. I just do. But that's nothing to say of like, there's no dick. I'm not talking about like, oh, I need something else because the dick isn't good enough. It's like it would, no matter what. But that is why when most penetrative sex I watch on in porn, if there isn't a Hitachi wand involved, there must be another dick there too. There's got to be more than just, if it's just one dick in a woman, I am bored. It's like watching Bridgerton. I don't care. It's softcore. That is the most boring sex to me in the world. And I do love a penis inside me just to be connected to my partner and to make love. But am I going to come from that? Probably not. And there is no way that I think I'm broken in a way, maybe, or something, but I cannot, like, I forgot my vibrator.
Were you ever like that
here
though?
In LA?
Were you ever?
Never.
There was never a time before the toy.
No.
Like once you introduced the toy, did it change things? Like for your
I
brain?
didn't really try. I was just never coming from sex ever when I didn't use a toy. Ever.
Gotcha.
I enjoyed it. It felt good, but I didn't know how good it could feel because I didn't have orgasms before toys were incorporated into my life.
Now,
my
has a
clit
toy-
is just too...
Does a penis ever get in the way of a toy? Like, would you rather
No,
just have the
it's
toy?
it only makes it better. That's the thing I always like to say. A toy is good on its own, but a dick inside you with that toy, it's only going to make the toy better. A penis will never take away from the toy. It's like having pie a la mode. Like your dick is a mode. You know, like I don't want dry pie. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll take it if that's all I can get. But it makes it better. A toy alone is fine. A dick alone is also fine. But together is when they really, it's like Simon and fucking Garfunkel.
Tango and Cash. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a
I mean, that's not a
period
good
film.
actual.
A dick
silent-
alone
A dick alone.
at Landmark Theatres.
Yeah, it almost sounded like a JFK speech, didn't it? Like
A24 Films. brings you
Nikki's like, a dick alone is not strong. A vibrator alone is not strong. But when they're together, they are Tango and Cash.
But I do love a penis alone when it is like, I just want to have a connected experience with my partner. And it's not about, because sex for me is not always about achieving an orgasm. And I wish more men understood that women don't always need to come. And it's okay if we don't. And that's not always what's, for me, a lot of times sex is just about like feeling someone inside you. And that feels amazing and like really, and bringing them pleasure with your body. Like I like that. I don't always need it. But if I want to come, I got to have a Hitachi. I just have to. I mean, I forgot.
Funny when like, we'll be having sex and she's like, you're just enough, and then we'll use the toy too. And then when the disappointment when the toy battery dies is so strong.
That's why I have like 6 of them.
But
It's
you
so
can
funny.
feel the like she's like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Can you
no, I'm
imagine
enough. I'm enough.
if your hand stopped working when you were jerking off?
Oh yeah, no, I get it. Oh, I get all. I'm pro toy. I'm like,
We were
If all of a sudden
imagining
you
that
had
for
no
so
grip,
long.
like it just loosened, it would suck.
Yeah.
Or if it's.
no, I get what you're saying. I have,
but it is
I'm
true
very
that-
pro toy though, because I feel like it allows the woman to have an orgasm quicker.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have an orgasm. We'll end up having an orgasm around closer to the same time with a toy. Without a toy, it's a very different ballgame.
But I love penises, and I don't want to make any man feel like, oh, I guess it doesn't even matter. They can just use toys and replace us. I will say though that because I forgot to bring a vibrator here in town, I have not been able to master. It hasn't even occurred. I would have done it so many times since I've been here. But I haven't been able to. It's not even. There's nothing for me in this. There's no electric toothbrush. There is nothing for me. There's no There's nothing for me to rub on. I wouldn't be able to do it. It's almost. It's pretty sad actually that I'm so
What if
dependent.
Wait, you
vibrators
should
start
challenge
carrying
yourself.
guns though? Huh?
I don't got time for that. That would take so long
Really? If you
to,
would just
and I don't
watch
even
the
know what I would
porn,
do.
Watch your favorite porn.
Go acoustic, bruh.
And then just go
Sweater it
acoustic
up.
and see how long.
You know what I would try because I would try to do the thing
That
where like
lamp behind
you take
you?
your clit, and you almost try to jerk yourself off with your clit.
Right.
Like you go like this. Like you pull on it, like you're almost like giving your clit a hand job. And my clit is like the size of a fucking mini M&M, but I could get it. That's maybe what I'll try.
Yeah, that's about the average size, right?
How small are the bellhop's hands? Maybe he can. What, don't you think a vibrator though is just a few steps away from Terminator?
With the key, gotta get the go to the gate. Will the gill be the where the guy, but the guy with the get what the guy did the guy get the guy.
For sure, dude.
All right, we're back. Let's talk about FBoy Island in our segment called FAnal Eyeland. All right, the finale was last week. I have not seen it yet. Let's talk about it. Let's answer your questions. Go.
All right. Well, can I ask the first question from a bestie that came in?
Yes.
Okay, a while back on the podcast, you talked about someone on the cast of Perfect Strangers 2 killing a bee. Who was it?
God. I'm so mad that this footage did not make the show. Okay, so during douche tank, there was an incident where I had this like fake microphone that was like a Price is Right microphone. And at one point during the show, Mia was very scared of insects, and there was a bee around her, a big bumblebee. And she was like freaking out, and I was just trying to shoo it away because I was just going like, shoo bee, shoo, like trying to like waving my wand at it. Me, as someone who cares deeply about the fact that bees are disappearing and the world is ending, I would never harm a bee intentionally, but old Barry Bonds was swinging right that day. And I hit the bee with my little wand. It's a very skinny wand. The bee flew to the ground, and I shrieked in horror because I hit the bee, but it was still alive, but it flew to the ground. It was just like disoriented. And then before I could do anything, I forget who it was, one of the boys just stomps on it and kills it. And I shrieked, almost probably falling to my knees, bloodying them. And we had to stop the production. I was very upset. And I was just like, you never kill a bee. You never kill a bee. And I went over to the bee and I picked it up and I brought it over to the rocks by the edge of the ocean where you saw Tom throw that ring, and I buried the bee in the rocks, and I said a prayer for it, and I said, I'm sorry, bee, and everyone thought I was very weird, and we went back to filming, but it was like, it was a moment that I was really, I forgot about it until just now, and I'm going to try to get the footage from Bill Dixon, my friend who's the EP on the show, because it was, it was the most athletic thing that I've ever done in my life.
I gotta get that footage. I looked amazing.
But it was just so funny, and it was so sad too. And I do want to get the message out about like, don't do what I assisted in doing.
It was funny when Tom threw the ring into the water.
Yeah, I got a lot of messages about this.
And right when he throws it, Brennan goes, Nikki's not gonna like that. And then literally like 2 seconds later, you go, oh, I don't like that. Or I forget exactly what the line was.
Contributing to the trash in the ocean.
That was one of my
she goes,
favorite
Nikki's
parts.
not going to like that. I was like, I don't know.
Thank you, Brenna, for knowing me so well. Yeah, a fucking dolphin's got that ring stuck in its blowhole now.
First of all, he doesn't have to inherit it from his mom. He could ask. He doesn't have to pay for it. He could get down on one flipper.
I forgot the origin story of that ring. It
was like a ring he bought.
Someone
he and his
cheated on him
ex-girlfriend both had rings. One was a king, one was a queen, like the crown. I don't fucking know.
So clearly it wasn't that meaningful to him.
So will you guys remind me what happened on the finale?
Yeah.
Wait, there's an episode
so
before the finale, and there was a big
it was
thing.
the mansplain.
Well, it's not even that. It's something that my friend Jen and I were texting about, which is a huge thing.
Jen.
So the girls had their dates and they invited the guys over, and they woke up with no makeup. And Jen and I were texting that it takes us like 10 months, maybe even longer than that, where we don't wake up early before the guy to do our makeup so that we wake up totally pristine.
Interesting.
No. Okay, that's very interesting. First of all, these girls are stunning, as are you and Jen. I know Jen. I am now in this new camp of like, I want to wear less makeup around men that I like care for or care about. Like
when you first started dating Chris, though, and
I was much younger, and I was much more insecure.
But how did you
when I've been
handle
a single woman recently, I used to worry about it, but and put on and do the bridesmaid thing of wake up and put up. Someone recently told me that they would it was you, Noah. I don't want to say what you told me that you would do, but it was really funny.
Would you wake up and put makeup on before he woke up?
Really? Okay, Noah, can I say the thing of that you and Hollow were talking about?
You can go ahead and say it. If I don't like it, I'll just take it out.
Noah used to wake up in the morning
with balls on her nose?
No. Wait, what is it?
After a hookup and shave her chin.
Oh.
and go back to bed because overnight there would be stubble from as many women. Like Hala has a literal man's like stuff, like a beard you would be jealous, like a lot of men would be jealous of, which a lot of women do. I have hairs too. I shave my face like on my cheeks and stuff, but Noah would overnight the stubble would grow. So
it was disgusting from hormones. So many women have this. It sucks. If you
so
want to
many
get
women,
laser,
so many women.
You have to shave it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, for laser you have to shave it. You can't pluck or tweeze because then you have to wait like a whole cycle, which is like months.
Yes.
So that's what we'd have to go through.
Oh,
So
well,
eventually,
I
did
hate
you
when
just-
sometimes a guy is like, kissing my boobs, and I spot a long hair, and I feel it like flosses his teeth. I'm just like, oh my god, how did I fucking forget that one? It gets like caught, and he rips it out, and I'm like, oh, it's like a pube on your tit.
But they're so long and skinny. It's hard to get them.
I
just like 6 months in, you wake up to Larry the Cable Guy. Like you have a
Andrew.
goatee. Like,
Andrew, do you remember? Seeing
Noah's
Brenna
just
for the first time
dipping.
without makeup?
I mean, I know this sounds like cheesy, but like her not makeup, the makeup face is like pretty close.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yes.
really, she was born like naturally gorgeous.
The other day, I was on set somewhere and had no makeup on all day. Mm-hmm. And then I got my makeup done and I walked out of my trailer and the amount of like, oh my God, wow, you look amazing was so insane. Like it's crazy how much it changes. But that being said, and I've really felt sad about that before because I'm just like, God, like this is how you get people to like you is like you put on a fucking mask, And
Yeah.
But now I know that like when I used to have acne, that's a different story. Like when I had bloody, like pussing acne, like I would need to cover that up. And that is something that I would still struggle with to this day if I was waking up with a new guy and like wanting to cover it up. But I do feel now at this age, like if a guy doesn't like my face after the first night we're together in the morning because I look like tired and like my worst self and like no makeup, that's gonna be the end of us. Like I can't keep that lie going and we shouldn't be together. And I'm not gonna like try to keep that lie going. There are certain things that I think early on in the relationship, don't start farting in front of them. Don't like, tell them every fucking thing that's ever happened to you about, you keep some stuff and save it for later. But your face without makeup, I would break that out earlier than you try to maybe incorporate that earlier. I don't know though. Anya, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I don't know. I don't wear too much makeup, but I get what you mean about getting a lot of attention. Every time I put makeup on and I come downstairs, Matt will always be like, wow, beautiful lady. Or something. He'll like make a comment if I have makeup on.
The dog
like,
perks up. Yeah.
But how nice is that we have that ability and men just have to look like their shitty selves all the time?
We
like,
put a tie on.
Well, no, I mean, like, even that doesn't really, like, if you guys did wear eyeliner or like Elvis did or, Harry Styles, like when he gets a little bit of stuff on, like if men were to lean into that a little bit more and wear makeup,
it wouldn't be
that
fair.
you guys would see too how much hotter you could be. And it sucks that you don't get to, I was talking to someone about this recently, you don't get to like, it sucks that you guys don't get to experiment with fashion as much as we do. Like we really get to express ourselves and take risks and have more fun creatively with our fashion than you do. You're really limited, and if you do take a chance, you risk all your buddies making fun of you, and it's like it's really hard to start moving into something like even wearing brighter colors, let alone wearing tight pants or
The guys on
a dress or a
FBoy
skirt.
had a lot of style. I mean,
They did, and they look great.
yeah.
I know. I kept thinking, God, it's so difficult to be a guy because you really have to just be hot. Or is it just that our standards are different for men?
Hair,
can't-
they can do something with.
I mean, those guys spend
Facial hair,
thousands
they-
of hours lifting. I mean,
That's true.
Well, their
But
body-
they
they
can't
eat
alter their
chicken.
face.
But I'm not kidding about like their bodies or whatever. Like I really think our show has caused a lot of men to have body dysmorphia and think that women want that. I'm not joking you. I've written a couple men on DMs that have been like, the show has made me feel bad about my body, LOL. And I'm like, if you're trying to win over someone like me no want that. I have no interest in having a guy with a body like that. Chris is starting to get really, really in shape. And because he has these goals of like this trip he's going on, and he just wants to see like what his body can be. It's not going to be forever. And I told him like, I like you. Like he, over the, we went to Montreal last week and he was like, I've been feeling really good about myself. He's like cut and he's looking great. And it feels great. Like it feels like, oh my God, like I'm with like who's this guy that just showed up? Like every day I can see like gains. And he was like, I was feeling good about myself. And then I saw Mateo Lane with his shirt off backstage. And I was like, okay, well, I ain't shit compared to that. And I'm like, I would not please don't look like Mateo. Mateo is Adonis. He is so hot. But again, that guy to me does not have enough time for me in his life. All he does is work out. He doesn't have fun with food. He doesn't indulge. He's punitive. He's a little bit of a narcissist. And Mateo's a thriving gay man, and that's a different culture, I think, in terms of like how they keep their bodies. As a woman, I do not want F-boy bodies. I don't want it, and I've never wanted it. I just, to me, that's a guy that that is so obsessed with himself.
Benedict's body was ridiculous. All these guys. There was one guy, I can't remember who, Danny, who wasn't like super cut, and I remember Taylor and I watched together.
Casey isn't like insane, but he has a great body, but he doesn't have that. Like,
yeah, I like Casey's body. Of anyone's body, I like Danny's. I like Casey's. I like Braden's. I like
Peter.
Asante's.
Well,
I like
Peter's kinda
Jabrian.
ripped.
Peter, he's kind of thin. Like I like Brant. I like the guys that were just. I just like a guy that looks like he can hug himself and feel like comforted by it and not be just touching stone. It's like I want these guys to be able to get cuddly. They're all too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
they were all cute though. They were all so
it's
cute.
interesting though.
They're all so cute.
When you guys like are worried about how like when I'm with Brenna and like she'll have like pimples or whatever, and then granted I know she's a pretty girl to start with, whatever. But like when there are flaws, like I never look at it as a flaw, like because I love her, and if anything, it's like it is
so
just
funny.
like.
But we're talking about guys before they love you.
Yeah, like before they love you.
Yeah.
So like the third date kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that.
But I know but that's really like sweet to hear and nice and comforting to hear that once a guy loves you, like none of that shit would matter. And of course they want you to be healthy and feel your best, but like they're not going to leave you because you have a fucking oozing zit on your chin.
And when they love you, they really think you are more beautiful without makeup, probably.
I know, it's weird. I don't know how to explain it other than
because
that I'm a great
other guys
person.
don't want to fuck you. That's
Yeah.
why.
Like, this is great.
I really do think that's why men are always like, just wear. You don't need to wear that tiny little thing, and
grow
you
your
don't
leg
need
hair
to.
out. I remember having a boyfriend say that to me.
Yeah, and it's
What
like,
did he say?
you want me to have
Grow
a cloak
your
of
leg hair
invisibility, don't you?
Yes.
Noah, grow your chin strap. Come on.
Noah, what were you just about to say? Final thought?
I was going to say I went to Warby Parker and I took Avi with me to help me find glasses. And I put these frames on and I kind of liked them. And I was like, and he's like, yeah, those look great on you. And I go, okay, but does the brown bring out the melasma on my face? And he's like, your what? I'm like, the brown spots on my face. Does the brown in the frame amplify them? And he's like, okay, I never even knew that you had that until right now when you literally pointed at it. And he's like, I don't know how to answer that.
And it's like your not biggest concern, but it's like one of your insecurities is like,
I see it all the time in the mirror.
How do you say melasma in gibberish?
Midagaz, midaga. Melasma, midaga.
Okay. Thank you. 3 syllable words we haven't gotten to yet.
I remember one time having a terrible hormonal bout of acne that was honestly making me look like the Elephant Man. It was so scary. I didn't know what was going on. Like, and they were all like blistering, and it was so bad. And I wouldn't let Chris see me, and I was hiding in the dark. And this was like 2015 or something. We were out in LA.
Did he know you were in the dark?
What do you mean?
I just love him like coming into a room and not even knowing you're in. You're like, hi there.
No, it totally was that. He was just like, Nikki, and I was like, yes.
You just have a candle.
Because I had been at Equinox before, and I remember staring in the mirror at Equinox and just sobbing and being like, I don't even want to work on my body. Like, my body does not matter because my face is like, it's so bad. And I know that there are people listening that have cystic acne and struggle with facial deformities or, you know, things that might sound what I'm talking about. But I felt so sad about it. And I remember him, and I've told this story before, I think, but I remember, and this was at a time where I did not want him to ever see those flaws. I still thought that like my love or his love was conditional and like, you know, based on me looking a certain way and all this stuff. And which he never led me to believe that it was all in my head and on my face. And I remember he just goes, hey. And I was just like, I'm so disgusting. Please don't turn on the light. Like, I don't know what to do, Chris. I'm really scared. What if I look like this forever? It's not going away. And he was like, listen, I am not going to pretend that I don't know what you're talking about. There is something going on. And that made me feel so good that he didn't go like, I don't even see it. Like, I know Avi like truly didn't see your and that is great. But this whole idea, like, if you're a guy out there and your girlfriend's like, I'm fat and like, or like, I have this thing that I like, not just acknowledging it and being like, listen, it's not like I don't know what you're talking about, but it would never register to me that that would make you any less lovable. That I think is the right answer. Maybe I could be wrong, but for me, that was the right answer instead of him being like, I don't know what you're talking about, because it was so obvious. And I hate when I hate when I have something going on my face or my body and it's really bugging me, and it might not be a thing that make that anyone else would even care about. But when people won't just go, I know what you're saying. Yeah. I see what you're saying. That really bugs me. Like, I just want you, because then you're not only fucking gaslighting me into thinking like, no, your face is clear. Like, well, then you're fucking blind. Like, it would make, I want someone to acknowledge that there is a thing that I'm struggling with, but that it doesn't bother them is obviously the second part of that, I guess. And
when the shoe's on the other foot, do you feel the same way? Like, if Chris were to have cystic acne, would you care?
Oh no, I remember one time, this is when I was like, oh, that I finally understood when men say they love you no matter like when you love someone, you don't care what they look like, and this is how you grow old with someone. I remember we weren't even dating. It was when we were still like kind of just friends, and it was around the pandemic time. And I was talking about getting on ADD meds at the time, and he was like, yeah, I used to be on them, but you know, one of the side effects is like hair loss, and I would literally rather die than lose hair. Like, it's all I care about right now. It's like my obsession, you know, as most 40-year-old men are struggling with that. And I remember just going like, and looking at him and like, I would not give a fuck if you were bald. Like, it was laughable to me that something was so of concern to him that to me would never change, even though I know that he would be more attractive with hair, because just it's, you know, just based on aesthetically, like the laws of aesthetics, it would probably be more attractive with hair. But also he would probably look like Bruce Willis without hair, like super cute. He could look, face shape. He could have facial burns and scars or like lose his he could be headless. And I would and I just remember being like, I know what it means when people say they still love people even after they are, you know, disfigured, where it doesn't matter. Boyfriend.
I guess the hard part is what you were talking about. Like, let's say if I was like, is my hair, my like, we all have like a little bit of body dysmorphia or hair dysmorphia.
No, you're spot on. Yours is going. I'm just kidding.
I'm kidding.
I do not see what you're talking about. I really don't.
No. But my point is like, if someone says, if it's something little, right, but it's big to that person, because let's say it's a little bit of a bald spot, and it's like, I know I noticed a bald spot. You see the bald spot, but you don't think it's that big of a bald spot, but they see it as a giant bald spot.
Yes.
The hard part is going like you were saying, like, I do see it, but it's not as big as you think it is.
Yes.
But it's like, I don't know. It's hard because like you don't want to give in to the dysmorphia. I feel like that's why I think guys sometimes will go.
But the dysmorphia is saying, well, dysmorphia is saying it's not there. That's more dysmorphic than saying, yes, you're losing a little hair.
You just don't
It
wanna
looks
be
like
gaslit.
a hurricane's, Doppler footage. There's something going on.
That's
not
good.
a category.
There's a
5.
storm a brewing. It's
There's
a
an
3.
There's
You
kids
should
playing in it for a half hour.
Duct tape the windows, but
But it ain't
we don't need
Katrina.
to. We don't need to move.
But I want to live in Florida.
Yeah, I think there's a difference between. I don't want to. I would never like. Chris is losing a little bit of hair because he is like that. It would be insane for me to say that he's not because he is. You can see it in pictures. We were going through old pictures. He's lost hair. But would I ever I would never look at him and go, oh my God, he is losing hair. Like I could only see it from pictures. And sometimes I see his scalp and his hair when I look at his hair. But
You also pluck him out, which is fucked up.
Well, I gotta keep him. I gotta
keep him locked down.
Yeah.
A hair a day keeps the girls away.
But it's not a problem. If it were, I would support him to do whatever he wants to do. Like when he kind of sometimes catastrophizes it, and I think it is like oh God, it's really bad or something. I always am like, I don't know what you're talking about in terms of it being so bad you would have to do something about it, but I'm not going to lie and say that it's not there.
Okay,
but
that's a good answer.
This is not, we need intervention. You need to get a transplant or something kind of thing. I'll support you if you want to do anything like that in whatever way, but I will not, I do not see it. And or like, I do not see it as a thing. I would never go, ooh, whoa, okay. Yikes.
I just always go, well, I'm on Google right now, and there's like 7 things you could do for that.
Oh my God, that's the worst too. When my friends, that's what Carlisle, when I was like crying that one day because my neck looked all wrinkly.
I'm
and she's
always like, you
Nikki,
can do
there's
lasers."
surgery. Nikki, there are lasers. And I'm like, what about just accepting that I'm going to age and it's okay? She's like, Nikki, it's okay. You will always be able to kill yourself. There's always a way out. I'm like, thanks a lot, best friend.
It is a weird motivational speaker. Like it's so like she's.
It's a fine line. It helps.
That is kind of what's her name
sometimes.
does. Lynn Swan or whatever.
Fine,
Yeah.
kill yourself.
Kill
I
yourself.
dare you.
I just called her Lynn Swan, which is a wide receiver for the Steelers. But whatever.
She is the fastest
All right, guys,
runner.
we gotta go. Thank you so much for listening to the pod today. I will be back in St. Louis tomorrow. We'll do it live from there. Anya will be here a couple more times this week. Very excited about that. Thank you so much for listening. Don't be cut and
Jack Harris.
Lantern?
Yeah, jack-o'-lantern. Okay, that's good. We'll
All
take
right.
it.
All
All right, see you tomorrow.
So long.